Hey guys, and welcome back to Kid the Bookworm. And in today's video, I'll be doing my October wrap-up, so stay tuned. So if you guys have not watched my NaNoWriMo video, which is I'll leave it in the cards above, but I am doing a Black sports romance novel. I'm currently writing in the process of that, and because of that, I wanted to do my research. And I've been told if you want to do research on a book, read the genre that you are writing. And because of that, I've decided to read all Black romances for the month of October. I've known some authors, and then there's some authors that I didn't even know who they were. And I'm super excited about that. So let's get started. So the first book that I read is about to be my fave. I love her today. And that is Knuckle Falls. And I read 3 of her old books, like her kind of like the books that kind of made her who she is. And that is the Accidentally in Love with You series. And I got all 3 because I'm a G and that's what I do. Adore You, Smitten, and then came You. So me personally, I recommend you read Adore You first, and then these 2 will be connected, but all of them are connected, but just read this one and then the other 2 will make sense. So Adore You is about Deborah, who basically has spent all her life trying to find the one, but she calls it the zing, and she has been having trouble trying to find that. And then you get Ellis, who is a big time playboy, but at the same time, Ellis is the brother of Deborah's ex. So you get to see how, Deborah has always liked Ellis, but Ellis, there like is an age difference, and Deborah has always liked Ellis, but because of her being young, she kind of like just been friends, blah blah blah. Not to mention you dated my brother, how that's gonna work. So what leads them on into like just a hint of romance. It starts off with her at a hotel trying to feel relaxation, realizes that Ellis is there, they have sex, but Ellis wants to move on to be more than what they are than just sex buddies. And Deborah isn't like there yet because their family is so close. Both of their moms are sorority sisters. They're really close. And once again, like you said before, she dated his brother, so she's trying to figure out how to work that out. Definitely love this book. This book's really cute. I love Ellis. I thought Ellis is really, really cute. Like, he's one of those type of playboys. It's like, I'm a playboy. I'm never gonna get married. But once Deborah comes into his life, he realizes, like, I want to be with her. And I'm going to try to prove to her that I want to be with her. So I thought this book was cute. And then you go to Smitten. And Smitten is kind of like a continuation, but kind of a spinoff at the same time. Selena and Deborah both work at the same spot. And she gets ghosted by a boyfriend of hers. Well, let me say this. She gets ghosted by a person that she thought she would be spending the rest of her life with. I'll just say that. And in the book, not to give anything away, you realize exactly why she got ghosted. So she is trying to kind of put the pieces back to her life and trying to figure out, like, what did I do to get ghosted? And she's so stuck in, like, crying her eyes out that her friend, who happens to be Deborah's friend, kind of like says, you know what, we're gonna go speed dating. So get dressed, go speed dating. And then we meet her speed dater, who is Kareem, who just moved back in town. He has a auto repair shop, and also he is trying to help his mom out with his grandma who's falling ill. And they meet at the speed dating because of Selena's friend. Basically, she was married, just did the speed dating just to be friends, to help her friend out. And she directs Kareem to Selena's table, and they basically hit it off instantly. But because Selena is so wrapped up on trying to figure out exactly what happened between her and her ex's relationship, she kind of puts Kareem on the back burner until, he keeps coming more persistent and seeing that he's not like the ex. And I love that about Kareem because she did compare him. I think there was like one time she did compare him to his ex, but she didn't mean it on purpose. And he was like, that's the only time you're going to compare me. You had that one time and you're not gonna do it anymore. And I love that about dudes like that, because I have that weakness of trying to compare the next person to the person I'm talking to now, and that low key kind of backfired on me. Kind of one of the reasons why I'm still single, but we're not talking about me. But I love the fact of them. I thought it was really cute. Also, there is a plot twist of Kareem and Selena's ex being connected. I'm not going to spoil it of what the connection is, but just know there is a connection between Selena X and Kareem. And then you have Then Came You, and this tells the story of Patricia, who is Selena's older sister. She is a principal. She is all about her 10-year-old son. And sorry guys, my nose is so itchy. That's it. All she cares about. But she's wanting for more. She believes that dudes are only for dick and a good time and nothing more. But she is scarred because of the relationship with her parents. And I realized that will scar a lot of people. Not even only females, but also scar males too. But she has this secret that her best friend, and her sister do not know. But I'm not gonna tell you the secret. And then it goes to Damon, who basically just came back from France. He has his own bakery shop. And Patricia accidentally comes into Damien's bakery shop on accident because she thought it was open, but if he was just doing a preview, she stays, and that's about it. She joins this one night stand website. He joins the one night stand website, and they kind of go from there. One night stand kind of falls into love. So that's kind of how to explain it without spoiling anything. But yeah, I thought this book was really cute. I love that Damon was following her lead at first, and then he realized that I want more, and trying to persuade Patricia was like really, really hard because she saw the signs and she saw herself getting wrapped up, and every time she did, she kind of deflected the situation. So I love these books because all of them are connected, but these two alone, because they are sisters, connect the heaviest. But at the same time, you also get to see the wrap up of how Deborah and Ellis kind of hit it off as well. So these are her first 3 ever books, and she did it. If I would have known who she was earlier, I definitely would have had all the collection. But definitely, Accidentally in Love series is dope. So this is what I read from Knuckle Falls. The next book I read is The Innovation of the Rose by Christina C. Jones. This is my first time ever reading a book by her. I've heard of her before, but I never really got into her work until just recently when the Black Girls Prose Club did a week of romance, and this was the group reading that they did. And it tells the story of a girl named Tempest who is getting out of a job. I'm gonna say what the job is, because that kind of spoils the book. And she's just trying to get back into civilian life, trying to figure out exactly who she is in the process. And then she kind of starts off, I'm not gonna lie, it starts off slow for me. And that's why I did put it down, then I picked it back up, and then that's when it kind of getting like really, really fast. Because she's so mysterious, and she's kind of like in her head a lot. And she realizes, like, if I do this, how will this play out? Or what's the reaction of this? That kind of cause and effect type person. And she realizes that the tattoo that she has, i.e. the rose, is like she's trying to disappear who she is. So she goes into a tattoo shop. She realizes that the tattoo artist is the same person that kind of helped her out in the beginning of the book, whose name is Tristan. He is a single father, just kind of like, work out, be the best person he can be, plus be the best parent he could be for his daughter. And they hit it off. Granted, it does talk about a lot of situations where, like, how exes come into play, and Tempest is a boss. Tempest does not care who you are. You step for her the wrong way, she will kill you. But I love the book. I thought it was definitely a book that is about finding yourself. And with me going on with my journey of finding myself, I definitely saw myself a lot in Tempest. So definitely another 5 out of 5 read. And I will definitely be getting more of Christina C. Jones books, as well as she does have a YouTube channel that I did subscribe to. And just looking through the videos, I see that she does a lot of writer tips. And I thought that was dope, so I'll definitely be looking at her videos to get some writing tips. So yeah. The next book I read is also a newbie for me, and this is Make a Scene by Mimi Grace. So this tells the story of Retta Majors and Duncan Gilmore, Retta starts off by realizing that her cousin is getting engaged to her ex-boyfriend, and they're having a wedding. And she realizes that my cousin is marrying my ex. How is that going to play? And at first she decides not to go to the wedding, and then she realizes that if she doesn't go, a lot of people want to feel as if she's bitter and still upset over the situation between her and her ex. So she decides to go, but she doesn't want to go alone. So Duncan comes into play, and Duncan is a owner of a boxing gym on the same strip as where Retta has her bakery, because she is a chef, a pastry chef at that. And she realizes that, he's good looking, check. He hasn't known business, check. Wonder if he wants to be my boyfriend. So over a parking lot, that's what it is. That's how they kind of engage the situation, over a parking lot issue. She asks Duncan if he would be her pretend boyfriend for the weekend. He agrees, and it goes on from there. I loved everything about this book. For one, Retta, the description of her, she's tall and has long hair. She's sure of herself. That's one thing I can't say. She's very sure of herself. Duncan, description of him, he's dark skinned, nice body, because obviously he works at the gym, and very family oriented. Love that about him too. Besides the dialogue in this book, the sex scenes, baby, woo, oh my gosh, Retta was a freak, and I loved it because I'm a freak too, so that worked perfectly for me. But no, but no, I definitely loved everything about this book. Like I said, this is my first time ever reading a book by her, and I just loved it. I definitely saw this in the visuals in my head. Definitely could see this as a Lifetime movie. Like, for sure could see this as a Lifetime movie, or even a TV One movie. If you don't know what TV One is like a black network when they do like a lot of movies and stuff. And I could see this as like a Valentine's Day type springy type movie situation. But I definitely liked it. I definitely it didn't leave me with a cliffhanger, but it did leave me wanting more. So I would love it if, Mimi Grace did like a part 2 of how things happened between Retta and Duncan after they got together officially. So, because, spoiler alert, they do get together officially. I'm not gonna tell you how they got together, but they do get together. So yeah, so definitely love this book too. So another 5 out of 5. And then the next book I just got done reading is Let Me Be Your Motivation by Tay Monet. This book was a good one too, that had a lot of great sex scenes as well. So this tells the story of a girl named Jordan, who is, when we see her, she's in a wedding dress. She's ready to get married to the love of her life, so she thinks. So at the wedding ceremony, a woman walks in and basically says that her fiance is already married and has a kid on the way. So because Jordan is so distraught, with the help of her sister and the persuasion of her best friend, she decides to go to Mexico. And Mexico was supposed to be her and her supposed husband's honeymoon, but it was already paid for under the ex-boyfriend's card. And the sister was like, hey, listen, he did you wrong. He got married and now has a child on you. It's already paid for. Everything's on his card. Fuck him. Go to Mexico, have a good time. And that's what she does. And she's at a bar drunk. And then, she's about to get a drink. And then something happens to the bartender because she gets so distracted. And we see the distraction is Amir Hamilton. Now, Amir Hamilton is a football player in the NFL. He has a lot of money. He has a lot of women. And he just got out of a relationship with one of, I think it was like Rocky or Carl, I think the girl name is. And he realizes that he does not want to be with her anymore because she's very artificial, literally, and she's very super materialistic. So because of that, he realizes he's going to Mexico before the season starts. He meets Jordan. Jordan just so happens to had a crush on Amir while they were in high school together. They have sex, and then it kind of just plays out from there. I love this book because of the dynamic of it. Like I said, Amir is a cocky NFL player who has girls going to drop off a hat. All he can do is just smile and say hello when the girls drop their panties. Jordan is not like that. Jordan is very reserved. She is very aware of who she is, not to mention who she's around. she says it in the book that, you know, that one night of passion is not like me. I did something that's totally out of my comfort zone and I feel horrible about it. Even though her friends are telling her, girl, you did a damn thing. You were in Mexico. What happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. And you get to see how their relationship kind of plays out in Mexico and when they leave back, they go back to their hometown. I saw myself in Jordan, not because of their relationship thing, but because of the insecurity, because she is very reserved and low key, and how she gets, you know, when she is dating somebody and something doesn't work out, she feels as if it's her fault when it's not. And I love that, you know, they do have a conversation about it. And I love that Amir is really like, listen, it's not your fault that this happened. He's the reason why. Don't ever feel as if you're the reason why your relationships don't work out. And especially in this one, he's the reason because he messed up and did not tell you. He just strung you along. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because if I tell you the book, you're not going to read it. But definitely a great one. I definitely plan to have her on my podcast very soon. So I definitely have to read more than one book to actually talk to her about it. So yes, we be prepared for that. And then I read, the next 4 books that I read are all by Alexandria Warren. Just a disclaimer, Alexandria Warren will be on my podcast later this month as my author of the month. So be prepared for that. So the first book I read by her is a continuation of the Nymphs and Trojan series, and it is One Last Shot. So this tells the story of the WNBA team, the Nymphs, and Selena Samuels, who is the head shooter. They call her sharpshooter of the Nymphs basketball team. And then you have DeAndre Leonard, who is a ex-basketball player for the Trojans. And after he basically kind of has a minor setback, he realizes he wants to come back to kind of disclaim who he is. And at first, Selena is pissed the hell off. She does not want him here. Why is he here? This and this and that. And then after a ride on a plane, they kind of get to know each other a little bit more, and the relationship kind of falls from that. I loved how Alexandria put in the WNBA. There's a scene in this book where there's somebody that is clowning the WNBA. And if you guys don't know, I'm a huge WNBA fan. Shout out to the Dallas Wings. An advocate for them because they do get overlooked a lot. And Selena goes off on this dude, like goes off to the point where I'm like, yes, sis, that's what you do. That's how you do it. And I love that Andre, you know, we find out what happened to why he got kicked out of the league and how he is trying to, like, day by day repair his reputation. So I thought that was dope. And I love how you get a little bit of the other book, last night, what's it called? Show's Not Taken by Knuckle Falls. But I just wish that I got to see a little bit more of Nico and Jade. But then I realized, okay, this is not about them. It's about Selena and DeAndre. So definitely love this. Also, disclaimer, they just came out with the book covers today, and the new ones that are coming out, because there are 2 more books that's coming out of this one for this series. And let me just say, I'm in love with both covers. Both covers, I'm in love. This time around, Alexandria is going to be writing the NBA side, and Nicole Falls is going to be rewriting the WNBA side. So I'm so excited to read them, get more research, because, like I said, even though I am writing a sports romance, my sport is not basketball. My sport is football. So just trying to figure out how they incorporated basketball into the love is going to be dope for me. And both books come out this month, and because of that, those are probably going to be the only 2 books I do read for the month of November, because I'm going to be basically focusing my time on just writing. So those are going to be the only 2 books, so there's really no need for me to do a TBR, because those are the only 2 books I'm going to be reading. So definitely a 5 out of 5. The next book I read is a novella called Uncovered Truths. And this tells the story of Kendra and Easton. They are basically the past lovers. Kendra is a little bit older than Easton. They really don't say how old she is. I think Easton's like in his 20s. I want to say Kendra's like in her probably 30s, 40s. But they were in a relationship, or a sex relationship, I like to say. And they just kind of broke off broke off unexpectedly, and because she sees Easton at a Target, he invites her to his housewarming party / Super Bowl party. She kind of hesitate at first, and then she decides to go, and you get to see kind of how all that unfolds. And you kind of get to see it called Uncover Truths because you really get to see exactly why they broke up and how they kind of got back together. This book was really dope. I really wanted more. I hated that it was a novella, but I mean, she kind of impacted everything in one sitting. I read this book and I want to say an hour because I think this had like 87 books. I read this book in an hour because it was that good. Also, I love the sex scenes. Like, all of the books that I've read have amazing sex scenes. To the point where I want to have sex. I ain't nobody to have sex with. That's how good they were. But definitely a really great short book if you want to get your foot wet with Alexandria Warren, for sure. And then I read her latest book that just came out. Oops. This is definitely an enemies to lovers story. It tells the story of Cameron and Maverick. Cameron is a girl who basically has all her ducks in a row. She wants the boyfriend, then the marriage, then the, living in the house together for a couple of years, and then she wants the kids. She does not get all of that because she gets pregnant by Maverick over a one-night stand. And she realizes that, how am I going to do this? Maverick is a social media influencer. He is, I think, 25 during the time of this. And he's like a playboy. He realizes like he wants to have fun. He's all about the social media life, Instagram. That's how he makes his money. And once he finds out that Cameron is pregnant, all that changes. He is really to be super dad. And you get to see how Cameron so hesitant to be with Maverick. And this is the dynamic of that. And like I said, all these books, another disclaimer, all the books that I have read are two-person point of views, which I do love too. I love the back and forth of it instead of just one thing. So definitely another great novel. This book made me laugh in like so many scenes, especially with Maverick, because he's just funny. He's cocky, but at the same time he could be an asshole, but at the same time he's funny as hell. So I definitely love Maverick. And the last book I did read is a continuation of Oops. So if you want to read Whoa, which is a novella, definitely read Oops first because it has a continuation of exactly how Cameron and Maverick are. So Whoa tells the story of Melinda Woods, who is the twin sister of Maverick. Now Melinda is a little bit more head on and a little bit more headstrong than Maverick. She has her own business. Their Maverick mom, her mom and Maverick's mom, their mom is a professional big time actress. She has her own spot to where she says she doesn't need her mom help or anything, but she is so stuck in her business that she doesn't have time for love or anything of love. So her assistant sets up a blind date with DJ Woe, hence the title, and they hit it off. They hit it off real good, and to the point where they have sex on the first night. Hot steamy sex that I wish I could recreate, because that scene was amazing. And it goes from there how Melinda is so busy, but at the same time, it's like, to kind of wrap it up, two busy people trying to find love. Bam. There you go. That's how I kind of got it. But you get to see how Whoa, who real name is Walter, realizes like, listen, I could be busy, but I can still make time for you. Melinda, on the other hand, is like, I'm busy, I don't make time for you. Period. But I love both of them. Melinda is very like I said, she's very headstrong. She gives me airy vibes because I could be very headstrong too and a little bit hard-headed, but at the same time she is very sexual and she's very comfortable in her sexuality like me. So definitely a great book. And guys, that is what I read for the month of October. Sorry this is a long video. It's like almost at 25 minutes, but like I said before, I read all of them because I got bit by the love bug. Plus, I'm doing research for my own book. And it's always good to read books in your genre to get, tips and ideas from. So if you have never heard of all these books or these authors alone, definitely let me know in the comments which books interest you and if you're going to get them, because I definitely want to hear your opinions on them. And like I said before, look out for Alexandria Warren. She will be on my podcast, which is Brutal Honesty with K. Renee. It is basically everywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google, Podbean, all that jazz is on there. Yeah, leave an orange heart in the comments below if you're a real one. I love you. Have faith, have confidence. Be you, always love you. And I'll talk to you guys later.